Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Afrikaans ebook before it's gone.
In this video, you will learn 20 of the most common words and phrases in Afrikaans. Hi everybody, my name is Ingrid. Welcome to the 800 Core Afrikaans Words and Phrases video series. This series will teach you the 800 most common words and phrases in Afrikaans. But there is a twist. With each new lesson in this series, we will include the previous lessons at the end. So after you've learned the new words and phrases, stick around and review what you've learned in the previous lessons. Reviewing is one of the most important parts of learning a language. You can also get the full list right now at afrikaanspod101.com. Click the link in the description to access more example sentences, create your own flashcard deck, and finally master Afrikaans. Okay, let's get started. First is braaipan, frying pan, braaipan, braaipan, frying pan. Die braaipan is baie goedkoop. This frying pan is very cheap. Die braaipan is baie goedkoop. Snybord, cutting board, snybord, snybord, cutting board. Die kok sny hardgekookte eiers op die snybord. The cook is cutting hard-boiled eggs on the cutting board. Die kok sny hardgekookte eiers op die snybord. Wasbak, sink, wasbak, wasbak, sink. Die wasbak is amper vol. The sink is almost full. Die wasbak is amper vol. Bak, bol, bak, bak, bol. Die bak is leeg. The bowl is empty. Die bak is leeg. Uitgaan, exit, uitgaan, uitgaan, exit. Waar is die uitgang? Where is the exit? Waar is die uitgang? Kaart, map, kaart, kaart, map. Gebruik die kaart om die pad tot by jou bestemming te vind. Check the map to find your way to your destination. Gebruik die kaart om die pad tot by jou bestemming te vind. Tas, suitcase, tas, tas, suitcase. Moet nie jou waardevolle items in jou tas los nie. Do not leave valuable items in your suitcase. Moet nie jou waardevolle items in jou tas los nie. Toerist, tourist, toerist, toerist, tourist. Die toerist neem foto's van diere. The tourist is taking photos of animals. Die toerist neem foto's van diere. Politiek, politics, politiek, politiek, politics. Ek blog oor politiek en die ekonomie. I blog about politics and the economy. Ek blog oor politiek en die ekonomie. Biologie, biology, biologie, biologie, biology. Biologie is die studie van lewendige organismes. Biology is the study of living organisms. Biologie is die studie van lewendige organismes. Chemie, chemistry, chemie, chemie. Chemistry. Ek het 'n graad in chemie. I have a graduate degree in chemistry. Ek het 'n graad in chemie. Fisika. Physics. Fisika. Fisika. Physics. Ek verstaan basiese fisika. I know the basics of physics. Ek verstaan basiese fisika. Ekonomie. Economics. Ekonomie. Ekonomie. Economics. Ekonomie is die agtergrond van baie velde. Economics is the background of many fields. Ekonomie is die agtergrond van baie velde. Sit. Put. Sit. Sit. Put.
Dit is tyd om ons 3D-bril aan te sit.
It's time to put on our 3D glasses. Dit is tyd om ons 3D-bril aan te sit. Onthou. Remember. Onthou. Onthou. Remember. Onthou om my te bel na werk. Remember to phone me after work. Onthou om my te bel na werk. Vashou. Hold. Vashou. Vashou. Hold. Dit is gevaarlik om 'n vaas in een hand vas te hou. It's dangerous to hold a vase in one hand. Dit is gevaarlik om 'n vaas in een hand vas te hou. Winkelwaandjie. Shopping cart. Winkelwaandjie. Winkelwaandjie. Shopping cart. Die winkelwaandjie is leeg. The shopping cart is empty. Die winkelwaandjie is leeg. Plastieksak. Plastic bag. Plastieksak. Plastieksak. Plastic bag. Die man dra 'n plastieksak vol kruideniersware. The man is carrying a plastic bag full of groceries. Die man dra 'n plastieksak vol kruideniersware. Komedie. Comedy. Komedie. Komedie. Comedy. Hulle kyk na komedie en lag. They're watching a comedy and laughing. Hulle kyk na komedie en lag. Novelle. Novel. Novelle. Novelle. Novel. Ek hou van 'n spanningsnovel. I like suspense novels. Ek hou van 'n spanningsnovel. Well done! In this lesson, you expanded your vocabulary and learned 20 new useful words. Click the link in the description and sign up for free at afrikaanspod101.com to get access to the full list of vocabulary you will need for daily life conversations. You'll also get example sentences, custom flashcard decks, and more learning resources. See you next time! Tot ziens!
Hi everyone! How are your Afrikaans listening skills? In this video, you'll have a chance to test them out with a quiz. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
'n Vrou vra 'n winkelassistent iets in 'n boekwinkel. Watter boek wil die vrou sien? Verskoon my, ek wil graag 'n boek op daardie rak kyk.
Watter boek wil jy sien?
Die een oor karre.
Een oomblik asseblief. Hierdie een?
Ja, dis die een.
Hier is dit.
Watter boek wil die vrou sien? ‘n Vrou vra 'n winkelassistent iets in 'n boekwinkel. Watter boek wil die vrou sien? Verskoon my, ek wil graag 'n boek op daardie rak kyk.
Watter boek wil jy sien?
Die een oor karre.
Een oomblik asseblief. Hierdie een,
Ja, dis die een.
hier is dit.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. How are your Afrikaans listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
'n Man en 'n vrou kyk deur 'n spyskaart in 'n restaurant. Wat gaan die man bestel?
Wat gaan jy bestel?
Die pizza lyk heerlik. Ek dink dis wat ek gaan bestel.
Ek het gister pizza gehad. So,
OK, wat van 'n hamburger?
klink goed. Ek dink dis wat ek sal bestel.
Wat gaan die man bestel? ‘n Man en 'n vrou kyk deur 'n spyskaart in 'n restaurant. Wat gaan die man bestel?
Wat gaan jy bestel?
Die pizza lyk heerlik. Ek dink dis wat ek gaan bestel.
Ek het gister pizza gehad. So,
OK, wat van 'n hamburger?
klink goed. Ek dink dis wat ek sal bestel.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. How are your Afrikaans listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
'n Man bel 'n dokter se kantoor. Hoe laat moet hy by die dokter se kantoor wees? Hallo, hoe kan ek jou help?
Hoe laat sluit julle vandag?
Ons sluit om 6:00, maar kom asseblief in voor 5:30.
OK, dankie.
Hoe laat moet hy by die dokter se kantoor wees? 'n Man bel 'n dokter se kantoor. Hoe laat moet hy by die dokter se kantoor wees? Hallo, hoe kan ek jou help?
Hoe laat sluit julle vandag?
Ons sluit om 6:00, maar kom asseblief in voor 5:30.
OK, dankie.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. How are your Afrikaans listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
'n Jong seun lees uit sy joernaal. Wat was die eerste ding wat die seun vandag gedoen het?
Die weer was wonderlik vandag. Ek het vanmiddag by die swembad gaan swem. Ek het 'n fliek gaan kyk in die aand. Ek het ook die hele oggend gestudeer. Vandag was nie sleg nie.
Wat was die eerste ding wat die seun vandag gedoen het? ‘n Jong seun lees uit sy joernaal. Wat was die eerste ding wat die seun vandag gedoen het?
Die weer was wonderlik vandag. Ek het vanmiddag by die swembad gaan swem. Ek het 'n fliek gaan kyk in die aand. Ek het ook die hele oggend gestudeer. Vandag was nie sleg nie.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. How are your
Afrikaans listening skills. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
'n man en 'n vrou kyk na 'n foto. Na watter foto kyk hulle? Dit is 'n foto van jou seun en sy sokkerspan, nie waar nie? Watter een is jou seun?
Hierdie een?
O, hy is die langste een.
Ja, hy is selfs langer as ek.
Na watter foto kyk hulle? ‘n man en 'n vrou kyk na 'n foto. Na watter foto kyk hulle? Dit is 'n foto van jou seun en sy sokkerspan, nie waar nie? Watter een is jou seun?
Hierdie een?
O, hy is die langste een.
Ja, hy is selfs langer as ek.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. Welcome to AfrikaansPod101.com's Afrikaans in 3 minuten, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Afrikaans. Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. Hi, I'm Anne-Marie. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Afrikaans expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Afrikaans. We'll start speaking right away, but first it's important to clarify that in Afrikaans, there are different greetings depending on the situation. Let's first see how Afrikaners introduce themselves in a casual situation. Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. Hi, I'm Anne-Marie. Nice to meet you. Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. Start by saying, Hallo, ek is, then say your name. For example, Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Finally, say aangename kennis. Again, all together, it is, Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. Now, let's see that same sentence in a more formal context. Goeiedag, ek is Anne-Marie Luck. Aangename kennis. Good day, I am Anne-Marie Luck. Pleasure to meet you. Goeiedag, ek is Anne-Marie Luck. Aangename kennis. Let's try that again. G. Try pronouncing it from the back of your throat. Goeiedag, goeiedag, ek is Anne-Marie Luck. Aangename kennis. So, what has actually changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a closer look at these expressions together. Hallo has been substituted with the formal greeting goeiedag, which is Afrikaans for good day. Ek is Anne-Marie has not been changed. Ek is simply means I am. However, during a formal self-introduction, we also say our last name. So I said Anne-Marie Luck. Here, you would say your full name. One more time. The informal way to introduce yourself in Afrikaans is Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. The more formal way to introduce yourself is Goeiedag, ek is Anne-Marie Luck. Aangename kennis. Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands, usually with a short but firm handshake. If you're not sure whether to use hallo or goeiedag, just say hallo, as this expression can be used in all introductions. If you use the correct sentence with a friendly smile and a good handshake, Afrikaners will definitely be impressed. That's it for this lesson. Do you know how we say thank you in Afrikaans? You'll learn how to say this and many other words in the next Afrikaans in 3 minuten lesson. Lekker dag! Hallo almal, ek is Anne-Marie. Hi Hi everybody, I'm Anne-Marie. Welcome to AfrikaansPod101.com's Afrikaans in 3 minuten, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Afrikaans. In the previous lesson, you learned how to introduce yourself in Afrikaans. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to thank people. Remember, good manners are important. Are you ready? Let's start. Saying thank you in Afrikaans is very easy. It's just one word, dankie. Dankie. To say thank you very much, you just need to add baie, meaning a lot, at the beginning. Baie dankie. Baie dankie. What if someone says dankie to you? How do you answer? It's easy. Here is the most common response. Dit is 'n plesier. Dit is 'n plesier. Dit is 'n plesier can be used with just about anybody. Literally, this phrase means happily done or I did it with pleasure. So when someone says dankie to you, you can simply reply with dit is 'n plesier. Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. If you're not sure about whether to use dankie or baie dankie, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. Just say dankie. You don't have to worry about saying the long version. The difference between the two depends only on how grateful you are or how much someone has helped you. Do you know what totsiens means? I'll be waiting to tell you about it in the next Afrikaans in 3 minuten lesson. Lekker dag! Hallo almal, ek is Anne-Marie. Hi everybody, I'm Anne-Marie. Welcome to AfrikaansPod101.com's Afrikaans in 3 minuten, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Afrikaans. In the last lesson, you learned how to thank people by saying dankie. In this lesson, you'll learn some of the most common greetings used when speaking Afrikaans. Is jy reg? Are you ready? Let's start. The most commonly used informal greeting is hallo. Hallo. Hallo means hi or hello. We can use this greeting with friends or relatives. Hallo. The most used formal greetings changes depending on the time of day. Let's see what they are. First we have goeiedag. Literally, goeiedag means good day. Goeiedag. As a rule of thumb, we can use goeiedag only during the daytime from late morning until early evening. Next is the greeting we say only for the morning. Goeiemôre. Goeiemôre. For the afternoon, we say goeiemiddag. Goeiemiddag. During the evening, we say goeienaand. Goeienaand. Goed is Afrikaans for good. Môre, middag and naand means morning, afternoon and evening respectively. Easy, right? Now, what should you say when you leave? Afrikaners usually say totsiens when leaving in a formal situation. Totsiens. Totsiens means goodbye. When we say goodbye to friends or relatives, we use the informal lekker dag. Lekker dag. You can also say bye. Bye. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Afrikaans. Let's review them all again. First, the greetings. Informally, we simply say hallo. If you want to be a bit more formal, you can use goeiedag during the daytime, goeiemôre in the morning, goeiemiddag in the afternoon, and goeienaand in the evening. When leaving in a formal situation, we say totsiens, and in an informal situation, it's lekker dag or bye. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. In informal situations, Afrikaners, especially good friends, commonly greet each other by giving each other a quick hug. If you're unsure, you can just stick out your hand and give a firm handshake and a smile. A smile goes a long way. During the next lesson, we'll learn the meaning of the phrase praat jy Engels. Do you already know it? I'll tell you all about it in our next Afrikaans in 3 minuten lesson. Lekker dag! Hallo allemaal, ek is Anne-Marie. Hi everybody, I'm Anne-Marie. Welcome to AfrikaansPod101.com's Afrikaans in 3 minuten, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Afrikaans. In the previous lesson, you learned the most common forms of greetings in Afrikaans. Do you remember them? In this lesson, you're going to learn a very useful phrase, do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Afrikaans, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the informal way to say it. Praat jy Engels? Praat jy Engels? Here, praat is the verb to speak, jy is the informal way of saying you, and as you might have recognized, Engels means English. Praat jy Engels? Do you speak English? Now let's make this sentence formal, as you'd probably be asking a stranger this question. It's very easy though, so don't worry. You only need to use the formal version of you, which is u. So, praat jy Engels becomes praat u Engels. Praat u Engels? Adding skus toch, meaning excuse me, to the beginning makes the sentence even more polite. Skus toch, praat u Engels? Skus toch, praat u Engels? Can you say it? Skus toch. Make the g sound using the back of your throat. G. Skus toch. Skus toch. Praat u Engels? Now, the responses you will receive could be one of these three. Ja, yes. Ja, a bietjie, a little. A bietjie. Nee, ek praat nie Engels nie. No, I don't speak English. Nee, ek praat nie Engels nie. Because this last response is a negative statement, you can find the word nie used twice as Afrikaans uses a double negative pattern when saying negative sentences. Ek praat nie Engels nie. Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. For those of you who are not only English speakers, you can use this question with any language you need. South African people study other languages at school, so maybe you'll get lucky. Just substitute Engels with Italiaans for Italian, Duits for German, Spaans for Spanish, Franse for French, and so on. In this lesson, we mentioned the expression skus toch. In the next lesson, you will learn more about this word and other ways to get someone's attention and apologize in Afrikaans. I'll see you in the next Afrikaans in 3 minuten lesson. Lekker dag! Hello allemaal, ek is Anne-Marie. Hi everybody, I'm Anne-Marie. Welcome to AfrikaansPod101.com's Afrikaans in 3 minuten, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Afrikaans. In the last lesson, you learned the phrase praat u Engels, which means do you speak English? We also mentioned the word skus toch, which means excuse me. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to use this expression and other phrases as well when apologizing in Afrikaans. We use skus toch in formal situations, such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, skus toch een koffie asseblief? Excuse me, a coffee please? We can also use it when asking a question. Skus toch, waar is die uitgang? Excuse me, where is the exit? Here are some other words you can use for saying excuse me. Excuse. You can use this to get somebody's attention in a formal situation. Excuse. In informal situations, the way to say excuse me is just sorry. Sorry. All three words, skus toch, excuse, and sorry, can be used when trying to get someone's attention or when apologizing. However, you might want to use a different phrase to apologize if you really want to sound sincere. That phrase is ek is jammer. It means I am sorry and can be used in both formal and informal situations. Ek is jammer. First we have ek is, which means I am. Then we say the Afrikaans word for sorry, jammer. Ek is jammer. Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. There's one big reason that you should know how to say I'm sorry in Afrikaans. South Africans love the fact that someone is making an effort by trying to communicate in Afrikaans. But if you apologize in Afrikaans, they will say, "Dit is okay," which means it's okay. Are you able to count in Afrikaans? In the next lesson, we will learn the numbers in Afrikaans from 1 to 10. I'll see you in the next Afrikaans in 3 minute lesson. Lekker dag!
Most people who learn a foreign language learn it so that they can one day have real-life conversations with native speakers. When you start out learning and crack open your first textbook or listen to your first podcast, having a real conversation can feel like a fantasy. When everything about a language feels new, it can be overwhelming. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While it does take a significant amount of time and effort to become fluent, having a conversation might not be as far off as you think. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways you can boost your conversational skills and start talking to native speakers. Number 1, find native speakers and practice with them. It's unlikely you live near a big group of native speakers to practice with. If you happen to be in a major or international city, your chances may be better. Check and see if your city has a general language exchange. Chances are there could be a native speaker there who is also trying to learn another language. Practicing in person with a native speaker is probably the most interesting option for honing your speaking skills. But if you can't find anyone where you live, the next best option is to look online. Luckily for language learners, the past 10 years or so have seen an explosion in online language exchange sites. On these websites, you can search for someone who is a native speaker of your target language and is also learning your native language. The idea behind a language exchange is that you communicate with them via video or text chat, and half of the time, they help you practice your target language. And for the other half, you help them practice theirs. Practicing via an online language exchange is a highly effective way to practice your conversational skills. Number 2, work on pronunciation. Pronunciation is often an overlooked skill when it comes to learning a foreign language. Most people think of a good foreign accent as a luxury rather than a necessity. But what most people don't talk about is how having a good accent boosts your listening and comprehension skills. If you can hear a sound from a foreign language and know how to make it yourself, then you're more likely to understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed, and you're also more likely to remember any new words or phrases you come across. Having a good accent means that the language no longer sounds foreign. Instead, it sounds familiar, maybe even natural. So how do you go about perfecting your accent? The best way is to break down the language into its individual sounds. Make note of any sounds that are the same or similar to your native language and of those that are different. Of the sounds that are different, spend your time practicing the ones that you find the hardest to say correctly. After you're comfortable with the individual sounds, you can start linking together words and phrases. This is where accent practice starts to get really fun and interesting. Get your hands on some native speaker audio from a TV show, song, or podcast. Play the audio back and listen closely a few times. Take note of how words blend together in speech. Then, do your best to imitate what you hear, trying to match the speaker's emphasis and intonation. Our language learning program's playback feature is perfect for this. Record yourself and compare it to the original recording. Rinse and repeat until you're comfortable with the audio selection, and then move on to something more difficult. This is how you can break through the accent barrier and really start to make the language your own. Number 3, learn phrases, not just individual words. Learning grammar and individual words is great, but it's not the only approach you should take if you want to speak fluently. In addition to your regular grammar and vocabulary, try learning whole phrases, even if you aren't totally sure how they work grammatically. Learn phrases that are specific to your needs. It's a good idea to learn phrases that are grouped around a certain setting or subject, such as simple greetings or introductions, questions for getting to know someone, or traveling comfortably. You can even learn filler phrases, which you can use so that you have something to say when, well, you don't know what to say. Learning phrases like this will help you become conversational faster. You may not understand what you're saying literally, but as long as you know the general meaning behind the phrase and know when to use it, you'll be able to talk like a native. Eventually, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary should catch up with the phrases you know. Learning a new language should feel like an adventure. There will be plateaus and periods in your learning where it feels like you're hitting a wall, but being able to speak with native speakers and have real conversations will help you combat language fatigue. After all, talking to someone face-to-face in a foreign language is one of the main reasons we start learning in the first place. And for even more ways to gain conversation skills, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi guys, it's me Christine. Welcome to AfrikaansPod101.com, and today's lesson is 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. So these are the ones that, like obviously you've been practicing your Afrikaans on the natives and they're like, wow, you're actually really good at Afrikaans. And then you pull these guys out the bag and they're like, whoa, where did they learn Afrikaans? And then you have to tell them AfrikaansPod101.com. But yeah, so let's get started. Dankie, maar ek is eintlik nie 'n moedertaalspreker nie. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. Dankie, maar ek is eintlik nie 'n moedertaalspreker nie. Dankie, maar ek is eintlik nie 'n moedertaalspreker nie. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. So that's the perfect one because it's a little bit of a contradiction. You're going like, I'm not a mother language person, but you're saying it in such good Afrikaans that they're like, but is she not, is he not, what? So it's always a good one to remember, especially if you want to just like back chat a compliment, because we're all a little bit awkward when people give us compliments. So it's a great one to learn. Dit het my net 1 jaar gevat om vlot te praat. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Dit het my net 1 jaar gevat om vlot te praat. Dit het my net 1 jaar gevat om vlot te praat. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Well, if that's the case, then congratulations, because it's actually really hard to become fluent in a language, especially if we haven't been learning since we were very little. And people always say it takes much longer to learn a language when you're a bit older. But I guess if you immerse yourself in the country, in the language, and you go stay there and only speak that to the locals and see how they react to you, it could only take a year. And if that's you, congratulations, it's really well done. Ek sal Afrikaans soos mense wat Afrikaans as moedertaal praat in 3 jaar kan praat. I'll speak Afrikaans like a native speaker in 3 years. Ek sal Afrikaans soos mense wat Afrikaans as moedertaal praat in 3 jaar kan praat. Ek sal Afrikaans soos mense wat Afrikaans as moedertaal praat in 3 jaar kan praat. I'll speak Afrikaans like a native in 3 years. So like I just said, if it didn't take you a year, don't worry, you're quite normal. If it takes you 3 years, even that's quite great to sound like a native speaker. But the point is that there's no timeline for learning a language, because I believe that you'll always continue learning. Even I'm fluent in Afrikaans, but that doesn't mean I'm still learning every day. There's always words think about your own language, your mother tongue, and think about the last time you learned a new word. And then if you can't remember it, why don't you just go into a dictionary and just open the page randomly and find a word? And I bet you'll find at least one word that you haven't known before. So even if you can speak it like a native in 3 years or be fluent in 1 year, don't stop. Just keep learning, because we can always just keep going up. Ek leer al Afrikaans vir 10 jaar. I've been learning Afrikaans for 10 years. Ek leer al Afrikaans vir 10 jaar. Ek leer al Afrikaans vir 10 jaar. I've been learning Afrikaans for 10 years. Well, there we go, even longer. I mean, like I just said, it takes a lifetime to really fully understand a language usually. And I don't actually believe anyone really does. So if you just keep going, persevering, and keep improving every day, just learn new vocabulary, watch a movie in the language, and try pick up on different sayings or little colloquialisms. If it takes you 1 year, 3 years, or if you've been learning for 10 jaar, great, keep going. I'm loving the perseverance. Ek kan Afrikaanse flieks kyk sonder onderskrifte. I can watch Afrikaans movies without subtitles. Ek kan Afrikaanse flieks kyk sonder onderskrifte. Ek kan Afrikaanse flieks kyk sonder onderskrifte. I can watch Afrikaans movies without subtitles. Well, that's really, really impressive. I remember the first time I learned a foreign language and I watched a movie in the language, and I always had to read the subtitles to really understand what was going on. And then this one time, there was no subtitles, but I really wanted to watch the movie. So I was like, oh, okay, Christine, just do it. Just watch it. And I could kind of follow it and like catch the gist of the scenes. And I was like, wow, I've made it. So if you can watch an Afrikaans movie without onderskrifte, congratulations. Let us know in the comments so we can all congratulate you. Well done.
Ek kan omtrent 50 woorde in Afrikaans 'n dag memoriseer. I can memorize around 50 new Afrikaans words a day.
Ek kan omtrent 50 woorde in Afrikaans 'n dag memoriseer. Ek kan omtrent 50 woorde in Afrikaans 'n dag memoriseer. I can memorize around 50 new Afrikaans words a day. Well, then you're a genius. Like, that's a lot of words. If you can do that, maybe change the number if you want to remember the sentence for a friend. Or if you're hanging out with some local Afrikaans speaking people and you want to just impress them a little bit, like, go for it. But 50 is quite a lot, and it probably takes a lot of practicing. But if you can do that, that's awesome. Like I said before, it's really great if you can learn new vocabulary every day and then also try to use them in the next day's speech. Like memoriseer. It's a nice word to say. I like it a lot. So I'm going to try say it a lot today and probably annoy the people around me. But like doing that, it's quite fun because then the people around you also start remembering that word and they can help you learn even faster.
Ek leer Afrikaans op my eie. I'm learning Afrikaans all by myself.
Ek leer Afrikaans op my eie. Ek leer Afrikaans op my eie. I'm learning Afrikaans all by myself. Oh, well, congratulations. It's really good. I mean, if you're learning Afrikaans all by yourself, it means you're really, really motivated, which is obviously awesome. And you can't really say that because you're learning it with us, afrikaanspod101.com. So even if you're learning it op jou eie, it's really great, but try find a little community where you know other people who are doing it as well, because that way you can practice with them, share stories, share experiences. I mean, it's always really nice when you're really struggling to pronounce a word or something, and then someone else comes and they're like, oh, I could never pronounce this word, but then I found out that you can just do this and whatever with your mouth, and voila, now they can say it. So it's always nice to learn little tips from other people. But if you are learning op jou eie on your own, it's okay. Like, it's really great just learning in the first place. So enjoy.
Ek verstaan alles wat jy gesê het. I completely understood everything you said.
Ek verstaan alles wat jy gesê het. Ek verstaan alles wat jy gesê het. I completely understood everything you said. This is the best one to learn out of all of these. If you pinpoint this one and remember it, it's such a great one. It makes you have such a little internal giggle sometimes. It's such a nice thing when you know a language that the people around you don't know, but your friends with you do know, and you can like gossip a little bit, or you can be like, oh, let's do this tonight or whatever, and everyone around you doesn't know what you're saying. But the funniest thing is when someone else is doing that about you, but you can understand their language, and then you just look at them and you go, Ek verstaan alles wat jy gesê het. And then they'll be like, sorry, like, we didn't mean to gossip. We didn't mean to say that your shoes aren't that great, or that your hair is looking a bit funny, or whatever. I don't know, whatever they were saying. Saying that, back-chatting that way in their own language will give them a little bit of a shock and hopefully not make them say bad things about other people. Which is not what I meant when I said it's good to know the language that other people don't know. I just meant like it's fun to play tricks on your friends and stuff, but it's not nice to say bad things. So don't do that. But come back with that if people do that.
Ek kan dit in Afrikaans vertaal. I can translate that in Afrikaans.
Ek kan dit in Afrikaans vertaal. Ek kan dit in Afrikaans vertaal. I can translate that in Afrikaans. This one's also super useful. I mean, if you're in South Africa or any other language any other country where they speak Afrikaans, it's such a nice thing. Say now you're on an airport and there's someone that really doesn't understand English or another language that you possibly do understand. You can just, step in, give a little helping hand, even to a stranger, and just be like, ek kan dit in Afrikaans vertaal and translate it to them in Afrikaans so that they can make their day a bit nicer, their journey a bit easier, and you just feel great because you've done something, you've used your Afrikaans in a positive way, and you've practiced a little bit with a local and helped them. So, yeah.
Ek is mal oor Afrikaans. I'm crazy about Afrikaans.
Ek is mal oor Afrikaans. Ek is mal oor Afrikaans. I'm crazy about Afrikaans. This is such a fun one because when you are practicing and you say to your Afrikaans friends like, yo, I have been learning a little bit of Afrikaans, this is what I can say so far, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, but that's really weird. Why did you decide to do Afrikaans? And you can be like, because ek is mal oor Afrikaans. And they'll be like, oh, ha, 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 that's very funny that you can answer it back in Afrikaans. And they'll be very impressed with you. Not just because you can answer them back in Afrikaans, but also because you are crazy about their language. Who doesn't love to hear that? So we've reached the end of today's lesson, 10 ways to impress native speakers. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm Christine with AfrikaansPod101.com. Let us know in the comments below how you felt or any experiences that you've had. Subscribe and like our channel and keep learning Afrikaans.
In this video, you will learn 20 of the most common words and phrases in Afrikaans. Hi everybody, my name is Ingrid. Welcome to the 800 Core Afrikaans Words and Phrases video series. This series will teach you the 800 most common words and phrases in Afrikaans. But there is a twist. With each new lesson in this series, we will include the previous lessons at the end. So after you've learned the new words and phrases, stick around and review what you have learned in the previous lessons. Reviewing is one of the most important parts of learning a language. You can also get the full list right now at AfrikaansPod101.com. Click the link in the description to access more example sentences, build your own flashcard deck, and finally master Afrikaans. Okay, let's get going. First is hond. Dog. Hond. Hond. Dog. Die harige hond hardloop agter die bal aan. The shaggy dog is running after the ball. Die harige hond hardloop agter die bal aan. Kat. Cat. Kat. Kat. Cat. My kat hou daarvan om 'n uiltjie te knip in die middag. My kat hou daarvan om 'n uiltjie te knip in die middag. My cat likes to take a nap in the afternoon. My kat hou daarvan om 'n uiltjie te knip in die middag. Hamster. 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 Hamsters slaap gedurende die dag. Hamsters like to sleep during the day. Hamsters slaap gedurende die dag. Warm. 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 Die sop moet warm wees. The soup must be warm. Die sop moet warm wees. Reën. Rain. Reën. Reën. Rain. Ek hou van somerreën. I like summer rain. Ek hou van somerreën. Tomatie. Tomato. Tomatie. Tomatie. Tomato. Tomaties is baie gesond. Tomatoes are very healthy. Tomaties is baie gesond. Arbei. Strawberry. Arbei. Arbei. Strawberry. Arbei roomys is die lekkerste. Strawberry ice cream is the nicest. Arbei roomys is die lekkerste. Kersie, cherry. Kersie, kersie, cherry. Ek wil kersies eet. I want to eat cherries. Ek wil kersies eet. Kind, child. Kind, kind, child. Die kinders sit by die piekniektafel. The children are sitting at the picnic table. Die kinders sit by die piekniektafel. Vriend, friend, vriend, vriend, friend. Dit is my vriend. This is my friend. Dit is my vriend. Volwassene, adult. Volwassene, volwassene, adult. Partykeer is dit nie lekker om 'n volwassene te wees nie. Sometimes being an adult just isn't very fun. Partykeer is dit nie lekker om 'n volwassene te wees nie. Fiets, bicycle, fiets, iets, bicycle. Hoe lank neem dit jou van hier na jou huis met 'n fiets? How long does it take from here to your house by bike? Hoe lank neem dit jou van hier tot jou huis met 'n fiets? Kar, car, kar, k-ar, car. Ek wil 'n nuwe kar koop. I want to buy a new car. Ek wil 'n nuwe kar koop. Motorfiets, motorcycle. Motorfiets, motorfiets, motorcycle. Ek weet nie hoe om 'n motorfiets te ry nie. I do not know how to ride a motorcycle. Ek weet nie hoe om 'n motorfiets te ry nie. Bromponie, scooter. Bromponie, bromponie, scooter. 'n Helm is verpligtend as jy 'n bromponie ry. A helmet is required to ride a scooter. 'n Helm is verpligtend as jy 'n bromponie ry. Boot, 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 boot. 'n Boot verbind 'n eiland met die vasteland. A boat connects the island to the mainland. 'n Boot verbind 'n eiland met die vasteland. Jellyvis, jellyfish, jellyvis, jellyvis, jellyfish. 'n jellyfish steek is baie painful. A jellyfish sting is very painful. 'n jellyfish steek is baie painful. Kreef, lobster, kreef, kreef, kreef. Lobster. Kreef is baie duur. Lobsters are very expensive. Kreef is baie duur. Krab, crab, krab, krab, crab. Krappe loop skeef. Crabs walk sideways. Krappe loop skeef. Skilpad, turtle, skilpad, skilpad, turtle. Die seeskilpad swem in die see. The sea turtle is swimming in the sea. Die seeskilpad swem in die see. Well done! In this lesson, you expanded your vocabulary and learned 20 new useful words. Click the link in the description and sign up for free at afrikaanspod101.com to get access to the full list of vocabulary you will need for daily life conversations. You will also get example sentences, custom flashcard decks, and more learning resources. See you next time. Tot ziens!
Today we're going to talk about 4 techniques to help you stop translating in your head and instead start thinking in your target language. This will allow you to have conversations with ease, read smoothly, and better understand native speakers. These are 4 methods to help you think in a new language. Number 1, surround yourself with your target language. This way, you'll be completely immersed in the language. Without realizing it, you'll learn pronunciation, sentence structures, grammar, and new vocabulary. Play music in the background while you're cooking, or have a radio station on while you study. Just use one of our endless podcasts available to you. These are easy to listen to in the background while doing other things. Number 2, learn through observation. This is how we all learned our native languages as kids. Words will develop their own meanings that relate better to your target language, rather than meanings that are translated directly. Number 3, speak out loud to yourself. Even if you're a little embarrassed, it forces you to listen to how you speak. It makes it much easier to spot simple grammar mistakes. Number 4, practice daily. If you practice everything for only one day, you won't retain the information you learned. The brain can realistically only focus for about 30 minutes. So studying a little every day allows you to absorb better. Follow these steps and have patience. You'll soon be able to achieve your language learning goals. Just make sure to remember these 4 methods. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start learning more every day. Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Afrikaans ebook before it's gone.